Now, here is something that you might not know. Excuse me, I'm gonna light the grill here. So I am quarantined, like many of you are, but I am not at my own house. I'm actually staying with family members in South Florida, my in-laws. So I've been with my in-laws for 56 days. Oh, it's pretty hot. 56 days, and it's been me, my wife, my son, and my in-laws for that time frame, which has been kind of crazy if you think about it. Set a 5-minute timer.
Okay, 5 minutes and counting.
Got the grill warm up. So I would say that it's been, really cool to be here, be in warm weather, have my son interact with his grandparents. They are both super cool, very fortunate to have cool in-laws. Shout out to everyone who's got cool in-laws. And if you don't have cool in-laws, know that when you grow up and if you have children, you want to be that cool in-law because it's nice to have cool in-laws. It makes everything so much easier in life. Hold on 1 second here. The other day it caught on fire, so I wanted to make sure it wasn't getting super hot early. I've been here for about two months, just a little bit shy of 2 months. And that is why, when you see the videos, things look a little bit different from what you might have seen in the past. The backgrounds, the gimmicks, things that are on the wall, all that looks a little bit different because I'm in my in-laws' house. I'm not actually in my quote unquote studio. That is why we're here outside today. It's a beautiful day. Spent the morning at some jungle safari, which was really cool, outdoor jungle safari. And my son loved that, but that's not what we're talking about here today. Anyways, here we are, 90 videos in. We're almost at 9,300 subscribers, and I love each and every one of you. I thank you very much, and I just want to continue to do this for you. So I love your feedback. Anything that you have that you want to provide me feedback, please do not feel awkward. Don't feel awkward to go ahead and post it in the comments below because feedback is the breakfast of champions. It's true that. Now you remember that because it always is going to be true for you no matter what. You can take feedback, you can change yourself and get better. But let's talk video. So let's talk Q&A here. We're going to go ahead and pull up the questions from the community chat. And if you aren't really subscribed, so one, I'll leave you a little reminder here to go ahead and subscribe, click that notification button. I'm very active in both the community section of YouTube, but also on Twitter. So make sure you're following me there. Question number 1 coming from Yemen. When you reach your first million, are you still going to remember us? Also, how do you manage to continue creating such high quality content without much support from YouTube? Yemen, yes, I will absolutely remember you because you were going to be the first person who commented in terms of a question, but that's the first part. I think really I try and be as actively engaged as possible in the comment section, because that is where all the great ideas that come from, because as many ideas as I have, I am not the end all be all place for ideas. It's really you, the people who are watching this, people who comment on the content, that where I get a lot of ideas from. I might take parts of one idea, parts of another idea, and meld them into something more often because just the time that it takes to create a video for me, it's such a long period of time between family, work, and making videos. So I try and use take everyone's feedback into consideration. It goes back to my first comment earlier. Wait for it. No, not the baby, the car that was passing. So yes, I will absolutely remember you because I try and comment back to everyone as possible. If you leave a comment, I will, if very minimum, I will like your comment, but I will also try and comment back relative to the conversation at hand. So yes, I will try and remember everyone, as I much do, because many of the people that come back and leave comments do it, time and time again, because I'm always commenting back. So it's more like a relationship that I've built with, many of the people that were there in the beginning and people who are still there today. So I appreciate that, Yemen. Now, the second part of your question was, wait for it, here comes another car. Boom. Also, how do you manage to keep creating such high quality content without much support from YouTube? So here is a little kind of a tidbit or an anecdotal piece of data. So I never had made a video prior to July 18th, 2018. I never really used a camera, and let alone using a prosumer camera. And when I told my wife I was going to buy the camera that I'm using, which is a Sony a7 III, to make content, she's like, "Is that overkill?" I'm like, "No, I would rather be able to grow into it and at least have headroom opposed to buying something now and buying something in 6 months." Which obviously that you see that same kind of thought process in a lot of my reviews. I'm like, I don't want to buy something that's going to be going to fit me today. I want it to be right sized and have room to grow into it in the future in case my needs change, because I don't want to spend more money. I try and make my content as what I would call crispy as possible, and that's done through the effort of really watching, people, other creators who I look up to, like Jonathan from TLD, MKBHD, John Rettinger. All those people, in my opinion, have just super, super crispy content where it is it's more of a pleasure to watch from like an art form, not necessarily because of the content itself, or not because of what they're talking about. I really like looking at like, wow, how did they shoot that? How do you get that that movement in the camera? How do you get that? It's a lot. So to answer, kind of bring back to the question, Yemen, for smaller creators, I would say that YouTube does continue to help push our content forward as much as possible. But when you have a community that's active, that's I think that the part that many people don't consider or think about. That's really the community. People like you, everyone that's watching and commenting is really the other half of the equation that helps accelerate content, getting out there to more people and helping the algorithm understand what is good and what is not. Anytime that you like something and you feel that it's good content, if you share it, YouTube sees that as a signal and says, okay, many people are sharing this. There must be something going on. Let's continue to go ahead and push more people to this. We'll suggest it more. We'll have it coming up in trending videos, or whatever they call that nowadays. So good question. Next question comes from Fernando. Fernando wants to know, what was I thinking about in this picture? So this picture was actually from a thumbnail that I had used in, I think, February of last year. And it was from, I think it was a Samsung versus iPhone. It was really kind of like, should Apple be worried about Samsung with the S10 coming out? And, it was me trying to be funny, looking like kind of a thinking man, I think it's called, where he's kind of like just holding his chin. But regardless, that was me trying to be funny. And obviously it wasn't funny in the video because it didn't do very well. But that wasn't, I think, my thing at that point, really doing those type of videos for, I think, phones in general. I think phones maybe in general, but maybe more specific to Samsung. I don't think that Android videos do well for me as a creator, because really, in my mind, Android is a commoditized product, right? There's new phones that come out basically every 4 to 6 weeks. And because it takes a lot to make a video for me, specifically talking about me, can't talk about other people's creation process, I don't find that much value, because you're talking about one phone, and in a week, that phone might be old news. Like you think about, see the OnePlus, no one's even talking about that phone. The S20 Ultra, S20 Mini, whatever they're called now. People are not even talking about those devices because they've moved on to the next thing. And it happens so quickly in Android that for me, it's just not worth it. But that's why I did that thumbnail. And that's what I was thinking about, saying, wow, should I still do Android content? But at the end of the day, it's just not something that works for me. Thanks, Fernando. Good question. Next question here. So Fernando again, if you had to pick one device and use it exclusively for the rest of the year, what would you choose? An iPad Pro with new keyboard, MacBook Air 2020, or insert your favorite Windows laptop here. So I have a Windows laptop that I use for work, and it's not that it's a bad laptop. It's actually brand new, but I don't care for it. It's just not my style of laptop. Now, if I would use whether it's going to be a MacBook Air 2020 or an iPad Pro with the Magic Keyboard, I think you know the answer to this already, everyone. It's going to be the MacBook Pro with the Magic Keyboard. That is probably my favorite machine right now to use, and it's just so inviting and not engaging, but it's so inviting and easy to use, where they've removed almost any form of friction that there is in order to pick that up and just start creating with it, or start using it, maybe to kind of put it in a different language, which it's just great. And I really appreciate it. I really love the new Magic Keyboard. And I think that my most favorite part of the Magic Keyboard is going to be the backlighting on the keyboard, because it just helps out in so many different situations. And the fact that it's integrated with the ambient light sensor in the iPad, which if you didn't know that, the iPad Pro has an ambient light sensor. This kid is screaming over here. The iPad Pro has an ambient light sensor, which the Magic Keyboard uses to determine the ambient lighting, and then change the brightness of the keyboard, which is very slick. It works very well, and I am a fan of that for sure. Let's see, this is a comment. Coach plugged in, much deserved, keep growing. That's all I plan to do, is just keep on growing every day. Not in really the wrong way, but in the good way. Next question is, do I love Israel and do I have a girlfriend? So 2 questions there, same person. So first question is, do I love Israel? Well, now I don't love Israel any less than I love any other country. Maybe just a little bit less than I love America, because I'm American, I live in America. But now I think that you might be asking this because I get a lot of people inquiring about, the caption. So if you don't know this already, all of my videos, the titles, the descriptions, and the videos themselves are translated into 22 or 23 different languages, depending on the video itself. Those transcriptions are paid for by me. It's not done by an outside, or not done by YouTube. So if there's ever a question, sorry, the alarm's going off on the burgers here. If there's ever a question or a comment on the quality of the transcription, please let me know, because it's something that I pay for out of my pocket. And if there's ever anything bad with it, I want to know so I can give the company feedback on that material. These look good. Yeah, these look real good. A little bit well done on that last one. Okay, so, ouch. Ouch. Our last question comes from Victo SN, and the question was, would I rather choose a budget device that's current year, or a discounted flagship that's maybe a generation or maybe more or even older? So I'd say, me personally, I would have no problem purchasing the iPhone SE, right? The new iPhone SE, $400. It's a great value in my opinion. I actually own one, and I would rather have that for sure than, let's say maybe, I'd even take the iPhone 8. Now I think that would be under the $250 limit, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I am wrong in the comments below. But otherwise, if I was getting a flagship device, I'd have no problem buying the iPad Air 3, even the 2018 iPad Pro. Those are both great devices, great performers, and they're, the previous models. But let me know what you think about those. And if you're interested in that kind of comparison, definitely put something together for you guys. Now, I really had a lot of fun doing this. So if you guys like this vlog style, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one. Wow, I just recorded that whole scene in slow motion. Such a dummy. What is this crow doing? Why are you encroaching on my video session? Get out of here.